Welcome to Bet Across America. We have a great crew of handicappers with sports and horse selections every day from coast to coast. I'd like to introduce Rick Camp.
Thank you, James.
And myself, James Irwin.
All right. And then once again, I want to thank the fine folks there at Bet Across America and, for bringing this show out there to all of our wonderful viewers. And I guess this is our inaugural episode, James, so we're going to talk a little bit about some action that we can have out there in the dog days of summer right now. Basically, your betting options are pretty limited. We do have baseball action every single day, but there's some other things out there that there's a lot of value to bet on, and I know a lot of people out there with those online accounts, and here in Las Vegas as well, that can bet on these things like the WNBA. There's a lot of value out there, and today's the opening weekend of Canadian Football League action as well. But we'll get into some more of that a little bit later. Right now, we want to talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. I understand you had a pretty bad beat on that Texas game yesterday, James.
Horrible beat. Had Texas. Texas is up 7-4. Boston puts up a 3 spot. There's 2 outs in the game. And they tie the game 7-7. Then they go ahead with the go-ahead win. They end up winning 8-7 at the top of the ninth. And then Boston strikes out Texas 1-2-3 in the bottom of the ninth.
Unbelievable. That's baseball for you. Just when you think you've seen it all in baseball, something happens. Let's see, what else happened yesterday in baseball? Oh, Colorado goes over the total at home again, which is not unusual. That happens, what, 65, 70% of the time this year?
At least over 64%, Rick.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You can make a living just betting Colorado over at home.
It seems like every game Colorado's in is going over.
Right on. And also, we've got another solid trend that's been going for us lately is Tampa Bay. They've been a solid bet against. What's that, 8 straight now they've lost?
They've lost quite a few. Yeah, it was, bet against Minnesota, bet against Atlanta, and now it looks like bet against Tampa Bay.
There you go. There's a couple of tips for you folks out there. But hey, make sure you log in to Bet Across America, get the up-to-date action every single day. We've also got some baseball news. We got Jose Reyes going back to the Mets. What do you think that means for the Mets this year?
Yeah, that should be interesting.
That should mean at least, run a game, I would think, to their total every game. I should up their totals a little bit because he's like a leadoff double every time.
He seems to steal second all the time, right?
Every time. He gets on first and steals second. And they love him in New York. I don't know why they let him go, but that did get kind of ugly if I remember. So we'll see how it plays out when they welcome him back. Now we've also got football's still about 6 weeks away, folks, and I know everybody out there just loves betting football because the emotion of the sport. Everybody's got their college teams, their pro teams, they got their fight songs, they got their colors on. Football is America.
Isn't that the truth?
And they bet it, and they bet it hard. But we've still got about 6 weeks to go, and there's a lot of money to be made, though, in the next couple of weeks. A lot of ways to bet. And in our next, several upcoming shows, we're going to break down some football futures for you, some win totals, to kind of help you get through these dog days of summer. Right now, let's talk about some stuff we have on tap for today. What do you got? You got any good baseball plays for us today, James?
Played Baltimore, a doubleheader. Played Baltimore in the first game. Texas, and Kansas City. Those are my 3 selections for today. Those are up on the website since early this morning.
Right on. Now, would you suggest parlaying those games? Parlaying the
No, all 3 straight bets. All 3 straight money line bets, no run line bets, just all 3 straight money line bets.
All right. Now, there are quite a few different ways to bet a baseball game, aren't there?
Oh, absolutely. You can bet the run line, you can bet the money line, you can bet totals.
What about the first 5s?
Yeah, absolutely. The first 5 innings, you can bet those as well.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't bet a first 5 inning bet this year, but a lot of times I like it when there's good pitchers and maybe they got a weak bullpen.
Any value in it?
Oh, yeah, there's tremendous value at times. Sure.
All right. All right, so you got 3 solid plays for us today in baseball.
3 solid plays.
How would you rate those plays?
All 5-unit plays. I like Baltimore in the first game as a 5-unit play. Baltimore's playing great at home. Kansas City's playing great at home. And Texas is the hottest team in the AL. I can say I'm proud of all 3 of those games.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. We'll have to check them out. Me personally, I'm looking at the Angels today to come back with a win against Oakland. You got Overton pitching. It's his first start of the year. All right, he's got 102 days rest. He's 0-0-0, and I'm looking for him to have a weak outing against a pretty tough A's team. They really haven't played up to snuff lately, but they're a division game and they always play each other tough. Week in and week out, year in and year out, there's always going to be a dogfight between those two. I'm putting my money today on the Angels, and so that's 4 solid plays we got for you folks out there. Once again, betacrossamerica.com, call in, log in, whatever, talk to some of our great handicappers there, and not only are they going to help you with winning games, which is what it all comes down to eventually, but the number one downfall of all gamblers out there seems to be bankroll management. And that's where our professional gamblers, guys that have made a living betting games, year in and year out, they turn a profit. Now, you're not going to win every single game, just like playing poker. It's not no different than playing poker betting sports, James.
Well, that's true. You got to play tight.
Right, but when you play poker, you got pocket aces. They're going to get cracked every once in a while. And you're not going to win every pot that you bet at.
Just like in that Texas game last night.
That's right.
You got a 3-run lead.
Right, you're looking at pocket aces right there, and you got a rivered flush.
Yeah,
That's basically what
3-run lead, 2 outs, top of the ninth.
Unbelievable.
You're already driving down to cash your ticket.
That's right. You're right. Now, all of a sudden, you got to hang a U-turn and stop at Carl's Jr. for their $4 special for dinner. Today, like I said earlier, we have the kickoff of Canadian Football League action. There was a couple of games last night, but today it's actually a rematch of the Grey Cup. I don't know if we got any Canadian Football League fans out there, but I'm telling you, if this was NFL action and it was the Broncos playing the Panthers in the opening week of the season, the networks would be all over it. So this is the Canadian version of the Broncos-Panthers going at it today. We got the Ottawa Red Blacks against the defending champion Edmonton Eskimos. And Edmonton took a 26-20 win from them in the Grey Cup Championship last year. They got a rematch today. I'm betting this game, and I'm betting the underdog, the Ottawa Red Blacks, with the 6 points at Edmonton for a little get back from that championship game last year. I think that's a solid play, and if you can bet CFL, watch it. It's what gets me through the summers, that CFL. It gets me my football fix, and I hope there's some fans out there that enjoy that. Other than that, we've still, like I said, we've got a full line of baseball every single day, and some of the best minds in betting baseball here at Bet Across America. I know James, you can call in, you can talk to James, you can log in and talk to James. Got a whole slew of action out there for you every single day. But the important thing, like I said, is bankroll management. You're not going to push all your chips in the middle of the table on every single game, because that's just a recipe for failure. And James, you said that this is a 5-unit play. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about how to break units down into a bankroll.
Sure. As far as units, the units are 1 to 5 units, 5 being the strongest. So the 3 plays today are 3 very strong plays.
So say you have a $1,000 bankroll,
Okay.
theoretically. What would a unit be on a $1,000 bankroll?
A $1,000 bankroll, I would say not to bet more than 10%, per game of your bankroll.
So a unit would be $100.
A unit would be $100.
So that'd be a $500 play. You're going to bet.
No. Well, what I advise is not to bet more than 10% of your bankroll per day.
Okay, so you're looking at a $1,000 bankroll, maybe $20 a unit.
Exactly.
All right, there you go.
Exactly
That
right.
makes sense. That makes sense. And then your bankroll always adjusts. So
Sure it does.
Right. So if you lose that $100, now you're down to $90. $90 total. So maybe you're betting $17 a unit. But if you keep that self-adjusting bankroll, then when you hit a few plays, then you're back up over that $1,000. And that's just theoretical. We have guys that we help everybody out there at Bet Across America. Everybody from the guy that's betting $10 a game because he wants to win just as much as the guy that's betting 20 dimes on a game. And we got packages and programs out there to help everybody. So log in, take a look at it. Bet Across America, great guys out there, and really a great site. A lot of great information to be had. You got any other action today you like? Any other sports? Anything besides baseball?
No, it's Dog's Day. It's like you said. How'd you call it? The
Days of Summer.
Dog's Day is summer. Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, not too much happening right now.
No, I don't know if there's any WNBA fans out there. There seems to be a pretty big following for it here in Vegas. They got the lines up in the book every day, and if they put a line up, believe it. We've got people here at Bet Across America that are going to try to beat that number. So give a call in, log on. We've also...
How about the NFL coming up, Rick?
Well, I figure in our upcoming shows we're going to talk a little bit more about NFL. We're probably going to break down our division races a little bit. Who we like, maybe win totals, maybe futures to win the divisions. We're going to go over some of that in some of our upcoming shows. Also some college football, because college football to me is just as big, if not better, than the NFL. Because those guys are playing for the love of the game. They're not playing for a contract. I mean, they might be playing for a big payday, but a lot of those guys that are playing college ball and playing their hearts out week in and week out are never going to see the field in the NFL. You know, because what, there's got 7 rounds, 32 guys, like 210 guys get drafted every year, something like that. 225 guys get drafted. Out of those guys, maybe 25 of them will be starters. So you got 20,000 guys playing college football, and 25 of those guys are going to start in the NFL next year. So a lot of those guys are playing for the love of the game. And that's why I love that college game.
What do you think about the Raiders improving their roster this year?
Well, I know. I really don't think Denver's going to do much in that division with the Dirty Sanchez at quarterback. I mean, you know, he wasn't good enough to play for the Jets or the Eagles, and now all of a sudden he's going to start for the Super Bowl champion Broncos. I really just don't see that happening. What do you think about that division?
Well, I mean, the Raiders, I mean, they've improved drastically in the offseason with the draft, and I thought, you know, it might be the Raiders pushing Denver for the division title.
I know, you think that Carr kid has what it takes? I mean, you know, is he David Carr's little brother? And we all know what a great career he had in the NFL. He did play a few years. He bounced around quite a bit. I know he's with the Giants, and but he never really did much. But I guess the little brother, maybe he's picked up something. Maybe his big brother taught him something.
How about the Raiders' possibility of possibly coming to Vegas?
I personally would love to see it because I've been in Vegas 20 years now. And I know what Super Bowl weekend is like here in Las Vegas. Can you just imagine what Super Bowl weekend would be like with a team here in Las Vegas? With the Super Bowl being played in Las Vegas? It would just be totally insane. It'd be, I mean, it would blow New Orleans away. It would blow Miami away. We're talking about Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas. And if we get a team here within 5 years, I'm sure we would have one of those Super Bowls. It would just, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. But I would love to see it. And I don't think it would cost the taxpayers a whole lot of money. I think it would just all come out of room taxes to cover the cost of that big stadium they want to build. They want to build one that would rival the Jones Mahal there in Dallas.
Yeah. They thought the NBA All-Star game was off the hook here.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine if we had a Super Bowl here?
Sure. Like the strip clubs would be packed that weekend, I tell you.
That's what I wanted.
Like I said, we still got a lot of time before football starts, and everything can change in training camps because you know there's going to be injuries. We're going to see some top levels guys get knee injuries, ankle injuries, hamstrings, Achilles. All that's going to happen here. And believe it, here at Bet Across America, we're on top of all the latest injury information, and we'll constantly keep you updated. You know, our players, we don't keep our players in the dark. Our players get the best information as soon as we get that information. So,
if you go to our website, you would think that we were cheating. Some of our handicappers are over 80% win percentage.
Well, I understand you're on a 26-8 run in your last 34 games in baseball, James.
It's been pretty good.
I mean, that's over 76%.
It's been all of our handicappers have been doing well.
I've talked to some gamblers out there that would chew off their right arm for 55%, and you're talking about 76% win percentage in baseball. Now that's almost unheard of.
Collectively, we're over 70%.
Awesome. And that's great news. And you guys out there that bet know what that means. That means that you're going to cash 7 out of every 10 times you make that bet. So think about that.
And we're not playing a bunch of favorites either.
Right. I mean, you don't need a professional to tell you to bet Baumgartner at minus 220, you know, or bet Harvey at minus 225. You don't need a professional to tell you that. Okay, you're looking at professionals that are going to put you on guys, you know, at plus 110, plus 125, minus 120, you know, where you can actually make some money. I mean, I know not everybody out there can afford to lay 2 to 1. And I personally don't like big favorites. I'm a dog guy. I like to look for dogs.
I do too.
That's always what I look for when I break down the NFL card week in and week out. When I look at my baseball, I like the dogs, and that's why I said I like the dog tonight in that CFL game. So if you want to make some action and make some money on some action tonight and watch some football, tune into that CFL game. I believe it's on ESPN. You're going to love it. Beware of the Rouge. I know anybody knows what the Rouge is. You know what the Rouge is?
No, what's the Rouge?
The Rouge is that you can get 1 point in Canadian football for punting a punt that goes out of the end zone. So if you punt a ball out of the end zone that's unreturnable, that's a point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. That's one way they can adjust those lines in Canadian football. You got to watch out for the Rouge. But anyway, we've got some hot pitchers right now in baseball. and those are guys to ride.
I don't know about hot pitchers, but I know that there's some hot teams. I mean, Cleveland's awfully hot right now.
Right. Well, you liked Baltimore today, didn't they? Have what? He's like 10-1.
Yeah, that's in the second game, though.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 10-1 pitcher.
Tillman, I believe.
Right. But once again, he's going to be a big money favorite. You're gonna have to lay probably 2.25 on that game.
No. I think he opened up like 45. He's like 65 right now.
Right. And that'll go up depending on what happens in the first game. You never know. But if you can catch him at 45, there's value in any ticket you cash.
Absolutely.
Take him because the book doesn't have any problem taking it from you, so don't feel bad about taking it from them. When they lob one over the plate, be ready to hit it out the park. All right, I just want to thank all of our viewers out there for tuning in and the fine folks at
Bet Across America with the best handicappers in the business for horse and sports, all computerized service.
All right.